Okay, thank you, Steve. I'd like to welcome everyone to September 21st Design Review Commission meeting. Let's go ahead and establish a quorum. As I ask your name, if you could just say here, that would be great. Commissioner Bishop.
Here.
Commissioner Keurig.
Here.
Commissioner Harding.
Here.
Commissioner Ma.
Here.
And Commissioner Blockus, Chair Blockus is here as well. We have 5, so we do have a quorum. Steve, do we have any public comments that are not on our agenda? Has anyone signed up for that you're aware of?
I'm not aware of that, but if anybody would like to make a public comment that for an item that's not on the agenda, please raise your hand using the hand gesture at the bottom of the screen. If you don't see that, you can just unmute yourself and we can give you 2 minutes. So if you have a public comment that's not on the agenda, you can do so at this time.
This is Ray Spormig at 550 Patrick Way, one of the neighbors to 540. Are you going to be discussing the ADU unit, or is this only for the primary residence?
So the ADU unit, I believe, will not be discussed. There's no discretionary action on the ADU. So it will be for the design review of the 2-story house only.
And why would that be? I'm just curious because I have some kind of comments regarding communication with the arborists and the redwood trees in my backyard and the size and diameter.
It's per state law. It's not a discretionary action that is discussed, and so we do take action on that part of that project under a ministerial review. But you can certainly make a comment with regards to that, but you should reserve that comment to that item.
I'm sorry, so how should I make that comment?
When the discussion item comes up.
Okay,
we'll
fair
open
enough.
up for public comment.
All right, thank you.
But I will tell you that the commission is aware that they cannot, they're kind of limited in their discussion regarding the ADU, so. So Chair Blockus, I don't see any other hands raised, and at this time, I don't hear from any other members of the public for items that are not on the agenda.
Okay, we'll go ahead and move forward to items for consideration tonight. And our consent calendar, do I have a motion or any discussion for our minutes from our last meeting on September 7th?
I move that we approve the minutes.
Do I have a second?
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded. We'll vote. Commissioner Bishop,
Aye.
Commissioner Keurig,
Aye.
Commissioner Harding,
Aye.
Commissioner Ma,
Aye.
and Chair Blockus as well. Aye. So the minutes have been passed. We'll go ahead and open it up to our first.
Chair Blockus, sorry, who is the second on that one?
Sam.
Sam was, okay, thank you.
Yeah. We'll go ahead and move to our first discussion item, SC 22-0018 and ADU 22-0064. We'll go ahead and open up for any public comment on that.
Okay. All right. So I live at 550 Patrick Way. And,
okay. So we're on a different project.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
No worries. So do we have any public comment on 530 Valencia?
So this is item number 2, 530 Valencia Drive. If you have any sort of public comment with regards to item number 2, if you can raise your hand or otherwise unmute yourself and you can make a comment. I don't see any hands and I don't hear any public comments at this time.
Okay. Then we'll go ahead and close that part off. Do I have a motion to continue the project to a date in the future?
I move to continue item number SC 22-0018 and ADU 22-0064 at 530 Valencia Drive to October 19th, DRC.
Do I have a second?
Second.
We have a first and a second with Commissioner Bishop being the second. We'll go ahead and take a vote on that. Commissioner Ma,
Aye.
Commissioner Harding,
Aye.
Commissioner Bishop,
Aye.
Commissioner Carrick,
Aye.
and Chair Blockus is an aye as well. So it passes 5-0 to continue. So we'll move to item number 3, which is property at 540 Patrick Way, SC 22-0003. Staff, can we have our report? Yeah,
Yes, I'm sorry. It's
No worries.
hard to find. To unmute. Okay. Let me share my screen. 1 second. All right. Good evening, Chair and Vice Chair and Commissioners. This is Jan Liu, Associate Planner. Tonight, I am presenting a design review application SC 22-0003 for the construction of a new 2-story house at 540 Patrick Way. The project scope consists of 2,866 square foot floor area at the first story and a 1,201 square foot floor area at the second story. The slide also shows 2 perspectives for the new house viewing from the street for your reference. The project property is located on Patrick Way between Pine Lane and Los Altos Avenue are marked with this red star on this slide. With regard to the characteristics of the neighborhood, it is found the neighborhood is a diverse character neighborhood as defined in the city's residential design guidelines. The home in the immediate neighborhood are a combination of 1-story and 2-story homes with 6 2-story homes nearby. Properties in the immediate neighborhood share similar front setback patterns with low to moderate scale horizontal eave lines for both first and second story. Most garages are attached to the existing homes in the front yard facing the street. Roof forms are a combination of simple and complex roof lines due to certain homes renovation in the neighborhood over the years. With regard to the materials, a mix of roofing materials are found in the neighborhood, including wood shake, composition shingles, and tiles. The exterior materials include stucco and wood siding with stone veneer or brick accents. This slide provides site plan at the right side, and there are 2 plans included. One is the existing site plan to the left, and the other is the proposed site plan to the right. The proposed first story is outlined in the bolded blue line with the second story in the blue dash line. Staff also highlighted the second story in the green color for your reference. As compared to the existing site plan, the proposed structures footprint will remain at the proximate location within the first half of the lot. The proposed site setbacks of the structure will be at least 10 feet for the first story and at least 21 feet for the second story. Rear setbacks are 82 feet for both first and second story. The house is also found consistent with all the R1-10 zoning district standards, including but not limited to lot coverage, floor area ratio, and height limit. And staff also want to clarify that as I'm taking this project over from the previous planner, but I don't believe there's a detached ADU proposed on the site plan. As the applicant is also here, the applicant maybe also further explain this when the applicant has a chance to present. This is the lower floor plan, including 3 bedrooms, 1 full bathroom, and 2 half bathrooms, a family room, kitchen, living room, and attached 2-car garage. There's also an attached covered patio and outdoor kitchen to the back of the house. This is second story. There will be 3 bedrooms and 2 full bathrooms. All the bedrooms will be front rear orientation with limited side windows. On this slide, it shows the proposed front elevation on top and the new streetscape illustration at the bottom. The front elevation is found compatible in design with the surrounding neighborhood by using design elements that have integrated gable and hip roof forms, consistent horizontal eave lines, symmetric second-story facade design, recessed garage for less predominant appearance, and board and batten siding with stone veneer wainscoting for additional textures. Also, the project utilizing other high-quality materials such as the standing thin metal roof and wood window and door with wood trims, which are integrated into the overall architectural design. With regard to the plate height, at the first story, 3 wall plates are proposed for the living room, including the main plate height of 9 feet at the rooms along the front elevation and the kitchen area. The second plate height will be 9 feet and 6 inches at the family room and bedroom number 5. The last plate height will be 12 feet at the dining room area facing the rear yard. For the second floor, the proposed major plate height will be 7 feet and 6 inches, except for an 8-foot plate height at the master bedroom. However, staff want to assure that after the publication of the package and before the meeting, staff received an alternative design proposal from the applicant for the second floor plate height. Staff will also leave this to the applicant to explain further for the proposed revision when the applicant has the chance to present. On this, excuse me, on this slide, it shows the 2 proposed side elevations. The right elevation is put on top, and you can see there are 3 small windows proposed at the second floor with the same window sill height of 3 feet and 6 inches. On the left elevation, which is at the bottom, there are also 3 windows proposed. So 2 windows at each edge of this left side elevation are with window sill height of 3 feet and 3 feet 6 inches respectively. The third window is a large 3-panel horizontal window at the master bedroom, which is designed as a dormer window. And also to clarify, additional windows shown on this 2 elevations in the gray and brownish color are skylights on roof. So the proposed window sill height for 3 feet and 3 feet 6 inches are not normal window sill height that the commissioner would normally see. However, staff consider the proposed window design is acceptable due to the following reasons. The reason number 1, the second story design features a low plate height and eave line. The proposed sill heights are proportionately designed to support the second story function. If a standard 4 foot and 6 inch sill height is required, staff believes that the windows will be not proportionate and use this for each room. And reason number 2, on the right elevation at the second story, 2 of the 3 windows, as you can see, they're frosted. And the other window in the bedroom number 2, which I put the red box there, will be located closer to the front yard. And the sight lines from this window will reach to the side and front yard of the adjacent property. So staff think this window should be okay in terms of the privacy invasion. And then reason number 3, if we look at the left side elevation, staff also boxed the window to the right side. So this window has the same reason that staff believes will not create privacy issue with the other window in the red box, because it is also located in the first half of the lot. and the sight lines will reach out to the adjacent neighbor's front and side yard. And then the other window now in this red box, it is designed for the master bedroom, and it is further recessed from the major second floor wall plane, and will have a further setback of 38 feet. And this increased setback should reduce potential privacy impact from this window. And the next reason, excuse me, is that along both side property lines, the applicant also proposed to retain the existing evergreen screening vegetation and plant new screening vegetation that staff considers will mitigate the privacy impact. At last, per the neighborhood feedback as provided in attachment E, the neighbors at both sides do not appear to have privacy concerns regarding the design second-story windows. Therefore, with all the reasons, staff considered the side elevation design has incorporated the design measures to mitigate privacy impact and found the design are acceptable. And this is the rear elevation. At the second story, there are two windows proposed. One medium-sized frosted window with a sill height of 3 feet and 4 inches, and one large window for the master bedroom with a sill height of 3 feet. An additional large fenestration next to the master bedroom window is designed for the double ceiling height at the dining room area, which will not cause any privacy issue as the dining area is only 1 story. All the windows will have at least 82 foot rear setback, and staff find this distance mitigate privacy impact to the rear neighbor. Also, existing mature evergreen screening vegetation along the rear property line should further mitigate the privacy issue. And this slide provides landscaping related information. Starting from the trees, there are 15 existing trees located in the within the proximity of the subject site and further assessed in an arborist report that is provided in attachment B. There are 4 non-protected trees will be removed, and 1 protected tree, which is a magnolia that is in 21-inch diameter, located in the front yard, will be removed due to its declining condition. Other trees and existing screening vegetation will be retained on site with proper tree protection during the construction. 3 new trees with 24-inch box or 36-inch box in size are proposed throughout the site as part of the landscaping plan. So a total of 9 evergreen screening vegetation will be proposed along the 2 sides, along the 2 side property lines to fill in the gap between the existing screening vegetation to mitigate the privacy impact. The details of the plans are provided in table 1 to the left side of the slide, and staff also highlighted the screening vegetation locations in yellow for your reference. And this slide provides the material board, which has been presented already. And lastly, for community outreach, a billboard was put up in April for early community awareness. The applicant has also reached out to the immediate neighbors for community engagement in April as well. Copies of the community outreach summary and responses from the neighbors are included in attachment E. So with all the information presented, staff now recommends the Design Review Commission approve design review application SC 22-0003, subject to the listed findings. So staff now concludes the presentation and more than happy to answer any questions. Thank you.
Great, thank you, Jai. Commissioners, any questions for staff?
None from Sam.
Michael,
No, I don't have any question.
Frank?
I'm good for right now. Thank you.
Okay, Jude?
Just a quick question. And Ja, you might not know the answer, but looks like this was original submittal back in January of this year. with numerous revisions. So just kind of curious, what have been the issues over the last 8 or 9 months to get to here?
I was not the original planner. I did dig into the files. I think there are some like missing information in the first couple reviews, and also some plate height design comments provided from the previous planner. But maybe the applicant, Eugene Sakai, can further explain to that.
Okay, and second question is, I know there's no ADU as part of this proposal, but the first slide you showed us was an area plan showing an ADU, which doesn't show up anywhere. If you go back to your initial slide, just kind of curious, once again.
Let me, sure, sorry. So, you mean the site plan?
No, there was an area plan showing the
Areas.
Okay.
neighborhood.
Yeah, so I took this plan from the first submittal, and I didn't take careful look to it. I was not aware there was an ADU proposed at this corner. But for this application for the approval tonight, there's no ADU proposal anymore. There's a swimming pool in the middle of the rear yard.
Yeah. Okay, so last question. And just so I know we have no purview of the ADU, but when it comes to impact on adjacent property owners' trees, how does the review process, what is the review process for impact on neighbor's tree when somebody builds an ADU?
So staff would also require the arborist report to assess to provide a tree protection plan. Sometimes the arborist would do exploratory work, like some trenches along the proposed foundation of the ADU, and see what the roots are there. If if there are major impact to the tree, staff will recommend alternative foundation design or alternative location to the ADU in order to protect the tree.
Okay, so you are paying attention to tree protection when you're reviewing the ADUs.
I actually would like also have the clarification from the applicant, because I'm not sure if the ADU is still ongoing as a separate application.
This is just for my education, so just humor me.
Yeah, if there is a separate ADU application, then definitely staff will review the tree and the
Okay.
tree protection plan.
Thank you.
Yeah, so just to clarify, there's still municipal code requirements for under the tree protection ordinance, and in general, we look at any sort of protected tree, those that are over 48 inches in circumference, and if there's any sort of improvements within 2/3 of the drip line of the tree, then that's where the concern is usually elevated. That sensitivity zone that we look at. So regardless what type of permit, if it's a ministerial action that that staff is taking, or if it's discretionary design review at the staff level, or in the case of the DRC, there is municipal code that applicants have to comply with. And
Anything?
And then with regard, just to be clear too, with regards to a detached ADU, there is an open record, and the applicant doesn't necessarily need to show it on these plans that are before you, because that technically is a different application. But I just want to make you aware there is technically an open application for a detached ADU. So.
Yeah, Steve, if I could ask a follow-up on that. So the landscape plan has where it appears the ADU is going to be a bunch of plants there, and then does have a little mention of after, as far as water usage, after future ADU. So I'm just confused. It's sort of, we have partial ADU information, although we don't, have any jurisdiction over that. And then the plans show, plants being where it is. So I don't know, maybe in the future, we have either ADU all in or ADU all out, just to stop the confusion of, kind of what's going on there. Because like if you look at L1, it's got these MPs, and maybe I'm just missing it here. Maya, Porson, something, 1 gallon plants all in that right rear portion of the yard. And then in the subnotes, there's some stuff talking about an ADU. So my request would be to either have ADU in it all in, so we can kind of understand, that it is there and that we don't have any discretion or anything about it, or that it's all completely gone so it doesn't confuse us.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. It's in some of these processes, there is applicants or property owners that are going through different iterations of the sort of what ifs. Pools are another one where sometimes they show future pool location and they're unsure if they're going to move forward with it. So in this case, I think the plants that are shown there could be temporary until the ADU is constructed. So this would probably be like worst case scenario. If the ADU is not there, then at least you see that there's going to be full planting in the rear yard.
Yeah, well, I guess the greater question for me is, it sounds like they've made some adjustments to sill plate heights that we haven't received, that we're going to be making a judgment on without actually having that. So we've got sort of a hodgepodge of information that we have to kind of sort out right here, versus having a little bit of time to think about, how it fits in and whether it's appropriate.
Yes, I understand what you're saying. I guess just one quick response on the landscaping. Your purview generally is looking at the landscaping as it relates to if it's in line with sort of the neighborhood expectations of landscaping and the screening material for potential privacy impacts. But generally the commission, as far as design review findings, there isn't a whole lot more for landscaping. But I would let the applicant proceed with their presentation, and they can address some of these issues that you're raising and answer any further questions that you might have.
Well,
Fair enough. Go ahead,
Chair. Steve, this is where I really have a hard time, because I look at the findings, and finding C, the natural landscape shall be preserved insofar as practical by minimizing tree and soil removal. Grade changes shall be minimized and will be in keeping with general appearance of neighborhood developed areas. So to me, these ADU, the impact of the ADUs are in, what's a good word? It's hard to make a finding when you know something is going to impact the natural landscape, specifically of a neighbor's adjacent tree. So I'm not looking for an answer today, because this is it for me. But I think for the future, David and Sam and Michael might want to know, hey, that this matters where ADUs are placed, because neighbors are being affected, and affected in a way that potentially will be negatively impacting their landscape. So that's where I think the question is tonight. If you're going to show, if there is an ADU, be forthcoming and show it. even though we can't comment on it, we can comment on the aspect of the impact on the tree, which to me is consistent with the ability to make a finding. I could be wrong, but that's how I feel.
Okay. Why don't we go ahead and move forward? Any other questions for staff? Okay, we'll go ahead and close that off. If we could have the applicant, either the applicant or the architect, you have your time.
Before I begin the presentation, I believe the homeowners are present and they'd like to introduce themselves.
Great, go ahead.
Sure. Hi, good evening. So my name is Alvin and this is my wife, Anne. We have 2 young boys, ages 4 and 6. We're excited about the opportunity to build a dream home to raise our kids in and for a family to enjoy for many years to come. We're new to Los Altos, but Anne and I have both grown up and lived in the Bay Area for most of our lives, and so we're pretty familiar with the area. To us, Los Altos is a wonderful city that we wanted to move to for a long time. We look forward to becoming a part of the community and having our children attend the excellent public schools here. And we hope this house will be a positive contribution to the neighborhood. We appreciate the commissioners, our planner, and everyone else on this call for taking the time tonight to discuss and review our project. And we welcome any comments and feedback. Thank you.
Great, thank you. And the architect, or? Do we have the applicant's architect?
I don't know, Isabel, if you are speaking, but we do not hear anything from you.
Yeah, she's on mute.
Having trouble trying to share a screen.
There we go.
Or I don't know if it needs to be promoted to a host or.
That functionality is on for everybody, so for sharing screens, so I don't know what other issues there would be.
Well, she still has mute on.
And please try again. I just changed that to all participants who can share the screen.
Yeah, I'm trying to share too, and it's saying it's not letting me share. We're gonna leave and rejoin the meeting just for a second.
Hello, sorry about that. My Zoom completely froze when I tried to share the screen.
Okay,
I'll try again.
Great,
Yeah,
thank you.
otherwise, if you can maybe email to Ja, who can pull it up.
Okay. I'm gonna email it to her because it froze again and then crashed when I tried to share screen.
Okay. So everyone needs to be patient. We're on hold for just a second. We'll get it taken care of. Okay, we've got something up. I think Eugene, it might be you.
Okay.
Recording in progress.
Okay, now we have an echo.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
My name is Isabel Guglielmo, and I'll be going over the proposed residence at 540 Patrick Way.
Go right ahead.
So because we were proposing a new 2-story home, the owners really wanted to reach out to their neighbors to see if there were any privacy concerns they may have and to see if there was any way we could mitigate these concerns. Because of this, they went around to the neighboring residences and dropped off plans as well as the letter that was located there. And then here you can see highlighted are the neighboring residences that they dropped off plans to. And here is a summary of those outreach efforts. So you can see the homes highlighted with the speech bubbles. The neighbors were actually present at the time that they went to go drop off these plans, and they spoke with them in person. The home highlighted with a circle, the neighbor was not present, but the neighbor did follow up later with an email. And then the homes with an X, the neighbors were not present and they did not follow up via email. Here is the photos of the plans that were dropped off in the homes of the neighbors who were not home at that time. And then here is a deeper dive into the outreach efforts. So the residents at 530 Patrick Way, which is immediately to the left, they actually did a remodel to add a second story to their home recently. And they were also the selling agent for the subject property. So they knew a rebuild was coming and they have no problems with the 2-story home. The neighbor at 550 Patrick Way expressed no concerns with the 2-story aspect of the home either. The neighbor at 521, they spoke to when the initial outreach was done. These homeowners also did a rebuild themselves and offered to share some tips about the process. And then finally, the neighbor at 560 sent a nice welcome email after the fact and said the plans look lovely and they wish for a smooth construction process. So here you can see where we've highlighted the responses to the proposed plans that are overall positive, neutral, and the ones that we received no real response from. So here you can see the subject property. And since we were proposing a 2-story home, we really wanted to look at the neighborhood as a whole to see, to make sure that it would fit in with its surrounding context. Upon doing this, we realized that the subject property is located in a diverse character neighborhood, and there have been a lot of recent rebuilds and remodels over the years. Here you can see where we've highlighted all of the 2-story homes within the immediate vicinity of the proposed residence. Additionally, we wanted to look at the architectural elements of these homes to see if there were any similarities despite the diverse character neighborhood that we could incorporate into our design. And we've marked some of these here, and they include gable roofs, stone or brick skirt, board and batten or siding, window grids, and a vaulted entry feature. And here you can see some of the 2-story homes, and we've highlighted some of these aspects, including the gable roofs, the grids on the windows, board and batten siding, or some sort of siding. And here are, again, more of the 2-story homes. And again, we've highlighted some of those features, including several vaulted entry features, gable roofs, siding, grids on the windows, etc. And this is the last set of 2-story homes where, again, we've highlighted those features despite the diverse character of the neighborhood. These are some photos of the existing home on the property. So we are proposing a complete demolition of the existing single-story house, garage, and hardscape. And here is the proposed building. We're proposing 2,373 square feet at the first floor, 1,201 at the second, and a 490 square foot garage. As you can see, we've also mentioned the setbacks we're proposing. Notably, the rear setback we are proposing is very large, and the second story side facing setbacks are quite considerable as well. There was mention of the ADU previously. That was part of the initial submittal, but we have gone through several design iterations and it is no longer being proposed. So we are proposing 9-foot plate heights throughout the first story, going up to 9'6" at the rear great room and rear bedroom. And then there is that 1.5 height space at the dining room as well that you mentioned. We are proposing 8-foot plate heights, which I will be going further in depth on, that you mentioned as well, at the second story. And then this results in an overall building height of 26 feet 7 inches, which is below the 27-foot max. We're proposing high quality and durable materials. These include natural stone skirt, standing seam metal roofing, board and batten siding, and wood framed doors and windows. Here is the proposed first floor plan, and we've highlighted some of the setbacks from the neighboring residences to the first floor. And here is the proposed second floor plan, again, highlighting the setbacks to the neighboring residences. As Gia mentioned, she had raised some concerns about the second story side facing windows. Because of this, we modeled the two neighboring homes as well as their window locations, and we designed the privacy screening around this in order to mitigate any privacy impacts. So this window shown here is the one at the front on the front left side bedroom, bedroom 3, I believe. And as you can see here, the privacy screening that we are proposing, also coupled with the location of the window towards the front of the house, mitigates any privacy impacts. And then here are the 3 other windows on the other side. The front one is at bedroom 2, and then it's at bathroom 2, and then the master bath water closet respectively. The 2 in the bathroom, we are proposing obscured glazing on. And as you can see here, we've designed and located the privacy screening in order to mitigate any angle of views from these windows to the windows on the neighboring residence. Here is the proposed landscaping plan, and we've highlighted here some of that side facing landscape screening that I talked about on the previous slides, as well as showing all of the existing trees that we are proposing to retain. This slide was supposed to be a walkthrough through the 3D model. Since I'm having trouble showing my screen, I'll just talk generally about the style of the home. It is the modern farmhouse home. You can see the high quality materials such as the stone skirt, the board and batten siding. We've incorporated some warm rustic elements to give it character. And you can see the grids on the windows as well as the front facing gables. And then here is the plate height change that Gia mentioned. So this change will be achieved only by reducing the framing depth at the second story roof at the front facing bedrooms and bathroom. So this change will not have any impact on the exterior. It won't be visible from the exterior. It won't change the overall height. Any of the ridge heights, it in essence won't be noticeable at all as seen from the outside. It's only achieving an additional 6 inches of ceiling height within the interior. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Let's go ahead and open it up to commissioners for questions for the applicant. Sam, you want to begin?
Yes, I'm actually on the, I did get into.
There you are.
Yeah, some magic happened. So I can't see myself, but I can see you. So I have no comments, no.
Okay. Michael?
Yes, I do have a few minor question or comments on this. On the window, the front elevation, A 3.0, above the porch roof, it looks like the window has some conflict. I'm not sure if it's perspective or the bottom of the window. It's actually touching the top of the roof. But I just want to remind the architect that's potentially you may have to want to raise the sill a little bit up to avoid that the roofing bump to the window. My second question is that there are some window headers shown on the elevation, 2 on the second floor. Are those stained wood? Because I don't see any keynotes to point out those header. Are those part of the window assembly, or those are exposed header with the painted or stained wood? And my third question is on the material board. You indicate the window is Marvin coastline wood window, but I look it up. Marvin coastline seems to be only available in Florida or southeast coastal region. It's for a harsh coastal weather, and those looks like aluminum or metal. But on your material board, you say coastline Douglas fir. So can you clarify the window for me? Thank you.
Yes. Yeah, thank you. So we are proposing wood windows. Marvin's line, that might be a typo. I don't recall the exact line off the top of my head to confirm whether or not, but it is the Marvin wood clad windows. The header that you talked about is it's purely decorative, but it is to give the sense of an exposed wood header. And then the other question was the window over the entry feature. So that is perspective. It is a bit above that roof, but that is something that we will continue to study during design and development as well.
All right. So back to the window. So on the exterior, are you gonna have a aluminum clad wood window, or your intention to have all wood window?
We're currently proposing wood window.
All wood outside.
Marvin's
inside.
line. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. That's what I heard. Thank you. Chair Block, I'm done with the question. Oh, you are muted.
I just asked Frank and he didn't respond. I don't know why. Maybe it was because I was muted. Frank, do you have any questions for the applicant?
Thank you, but none at this time.
Okay. Jude?
No questions.
Yeah, I don't have any questions as well. So we'll go ahead and close that off. Let's open it up to public comment. I believe we have at least one person. Steve, anyone else?
Yeah, so at this time, if you have a public comment, if you can use the hand gesture to raise your hand, and then we'll see how many public comments we have. And then we can allocate time appropriately. I know we have one. I don't see any other hands being raised at this time. So Chair Blagas, how much time would you like to give this individual?
Let's go 3 minutes.
Okay. So I think it was Raymond. If you'd like to unmute yourself and provide your comment, you can at this time.
Well, I think the question was answered. It sounds like there's not going to be an ADU unit. So if there's not one, then the redwoods seem to be intact and won't be any issues. So I think that would kind of conclude no reason to further discussion. But although I did hear that the applicant is still open though, right? So would that applicant be closed? And if it would reopen, would there be a hearing? Maybe those are the two questions I have.
Okay, Steve?
So if you want staff's answer on that, if the property owner came back with with an ADU that under state law would be ministerial in the city's review. That's an ADU that's up to 16 feet in height, at least 4 feet from the property line, and under our consideration up to 850 square feet. There wouldn't be any public hearing on that application. Nor would there be any sort of public notification. I'll be clear about that.
Raymond, does that answer your question?
It does. Yes. Yes. Thank you. I mean, obviously, if it's going to be 4 feet from my redwood trees, then I would think there'd be some kind of a conversation or a follow-up. Would it not be? Because then redwoods are a protected tree.
So again, those are the minimums under state law. We would look at other municipal code requirements and specifically the tree protection ordinance. And there are provisions under that municipal code which would potentially have the effect of moving the proposed ADU away from the property line greater than 4 feet, could also require other construction mitigation measures, different foundation system, other mitigations that the arborist proposes. So that would be something that staff would follow up if there is the detached ADU proposed in the future, or any other structure.
Okay. All right. Thank you for your time, counsel. I appreciate it. No further questions.
Right. Thank you. Stephen, any other hands raised?
Chair Blockus, I don't see any others at this time, and I don't see anybody else that would be providing a comment.
Okay, we'll go ahead and close public comment and move to discussion on the topic. Michael, would you like to begin?
Sure. Overall, I think I'm in favor of this project. It's well designed, the scale, proportion, massing, and everything is compatible with the neighborhood. Address the privacy as far as the ADU, like what Steve Golden said. It's a separate ministerial item that the planning department would have the process and procedure to handle it. So yeah, I like the project. I'm in the support of this project. Thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you, Michael. Jude?
Sure. Along the same lines, I think the project meets the design guidelines. It's an evolving neighborhood with many two-story homes in the neighborhood. And once again, Studio S Squared has brought us a very complete and thorough package. My only comment remains that I would hope the applicant would reach out to the neighbor and discuss if an ADU appears in the future, discuss the impact on the redwood tree, because the fence line is right there. And I think an ADU would have a negative impact, not only on one tree, but potentially 3 beautiful redwoods that make up that corner of the property. So I'm in favor of the project as designed, and I would vote to approve.
Great. Frank?
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, so like the others, I'm in favor of the project. I think Jai did a great job, as always, with the presentation. And I think Jude had mentioned it was a very complete package from the architect, which I think we all greatly appreciate when we see something that is that complete. So yes, I'm in favor.
Great. Sam?
Yes, I support the project and agree with the other commissioners, and particularly in the concern for the redwoods is that that there be an assurance from staff that that would be properly evaluated.
Okay, and I support the project as well. Do I have a motion?
And excuse me, Commissioner, so before
Yes.
the motion, I think we need to add a condition since there is a plate height change at the second story for a uniform 8-foot plate height. So we need to acknowledge that for the record. So if we
Okay,
can-
thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
With that being said, do I have a motion
Sure.
with the modification on the plate height?
Sure. I'm gonna go out in style. I'm gonna move that we approve SC 22-0003, the new residents at 540 Patrick Way for the findings and conditions in the staff report with the additional acknowledgement that the applicant should be allowed to raise the plate height to 8 feet for a uniform plate height at the second story.
Second.
Do I have a second?
I second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Let's go ahead and vote. Commissioner Waugh,
Aye.
Commissioner Harding,
Aye.
Commissioner Kirk,
Aye.
Commissioner Bishop,
Aye.
and Chair Blockus, aye as well. The motion passes 5-0. Congratulations. Steve, we'll go ahead and move forward to commissioners' reports or comments. Do we have any?
Sorry, were you waiting for commissioners to make reports?
No, yeah, I guess, yeah, any commissioner, yeah, any commissioners, have any reports or comments? I would
None.
just like to make a comment as the acting chair at this point, to thank both Commissioner Bishop and Commissioner Couric for their time spent on the DRC. I know it takes a lot of time to do, and I, as one, appreciate all the work that you've put in.
Here, here. Second.
Motion approved.
Motion.
And well, I guess this isn't a report, but actually it is kind of a report. So just, and I hope, first of all, I hope the new appointees for the Design Review Commission are here and present, because I sat in on some of the interviews, and I hope some of those applicants are here present tonight just to get a sense of what goes on in this commission. So coincidentally, this is probably 2 days past my 9th year on the commission. I've attended 152 meetings, which is insane. I voted on over 570 projects. So anyhow, it's a commitment, it's a passion. I've met a lot of great people. First of all, Chair Blockus was on my first commission, and I commend him for coming back for a second round. I've had the privilege of serving with 10 other commissioners. And I think the balance on this commission is awesome, and I hope it continues in the future. And I would like to thank the staff. Steve, I think you're the only one here, but I think some of us have had the privilege of serving with you, going back to David Cornfield, Zach Dahl, Guido. You've all been great. Your job is super challenging. I can't tell you what it means to us when we see these packages. I can't imagine the hours you guys spend on these projects. Since Eugene is sitting in, I want to commend all the architects that come with complete design packages. I think one of the biggest frustrations that the DRC sees on a every other week basis is applicants and architects that don't come prepared to these meetings. And not only with the great drawing package, but also lacking the neighbor outreach, which is so critical to this process. I signed up for this commission because I wanted to get to know Los Altos. I wanted to be part of the process. I I wanted to improve the quality of design. I drove around Los Altos and I saw a lot of things that were disturbing to me. So I thought my background and experience would be useful in improving what the DRC is here for. And it's unfortunate that more people aren't kind of tuned into this, because this is on the down and dirty, this is what matters to us as residents and us as neighbors, you know, what we're doing and who we're living next to. So I think this commission is probably one of the most challenging, given we deal with very many personal issues. It's incredible. I've been all up and down Los Altos, from the north to the south to the east to the west, from Morales up at the north all the way down to North Foothill Boulevard, which I didn't even know existed in Los Altos. So I challenge some of you to look up where North Foothill Boulevard is, but it's actually south of Cristo Rey. So anyhow, it's been a wonderful experience. I thank the council for appointing me many years ago and re-upping me without me knowing. But I don't know what to say about going forward, because I think SB 9 is going to be very challenging. So the DRC, the Planning Commission, the council have a lot of challenges in front of them. But hopefully this process can continue as is, because I think what all of us have done over these years have been fantastic. So good luck to you all. I will hopefully see you soon. And I know I see most of you soon, because we're here. All right, so that's to me. I'm going to sign off.
Well, the Academy's starting to play the walk-off music, so.
Yeah, well, I think 152 meetings, endless hours. And actually, this is one of our shortest meetings ever, David. So I think I can get away with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Steve, any potential future agenda items?
Well, your October 5th meeting will be canceled due to a holiday, but we'll be back October 19th. It will be a full agenda. We will start out that meeting by selecting a new chair and vice chair. The council last night, or maybe it was early this morning, they did appoint 2 members. I believe it will be Chepe Mantica, who is he's an architect. He came before your commission recently, and a resident of Los Altos, and also Stuart Klein, I believe, is the other member. So they will join this commission October 19th, and you will select a new chair and vice chair, and it will be a full agenda with, I believe there should be 4 items coming your way.
Okay.
Great. Thank you.
All righty. And I will. It's 8:06. We'll go ahead and adjourn. And again, thank you, Jude, and thank you, Frank. Have a great evening,
All right,
everyone.
thank you, everybody.
See you shortly.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Good night.